Hey there, everybody. So I promised some video and pictures of the house that we're actually living in now in Napa, but I think it bears telling you about kind of how this works, because we tell people that we're quote unquote travel nursing, and they say, well, how do you do that? And for us, the way that we do it, people do it differently. Some people just live in their camper, generally if it's just a single person, or two people, husband and wife situation. But for us, having the boys with us, what we have done both times we've done this for periods. Gosh, back in we did it back in 2011 when we were trying to get me somewhere for a heart transplant. And the way it worked was just we basically put all our kind of our household furniture and all that into storage somewhere. Back then it was Arkansas. Right now it's in storage in a pod unit in Pennsylvania. And you pack up, what clothes you need and anything else that you just can't live without. So you got all that to fit in the RV this time. Last time it was the Honda Odyssey that we had. And you take off and you go to wherever So one of the interesting things about that, and one of the things that's very unpredictable, is the housing situation. Typically, what'll happen is the company that you work for, in our case, Travel Corps, out of Boca Raton, Florida. So they contract with the hospital here in Concord, or down in Concord, where she works. Either they provide the housing that we need, or they will provide a stipend and we can get our own housing. So when we did this before in 2011, we let them provide the housing because it was just easier that way. But we also found that we ended up in some places that were really not very workable for me having a heart condition. We'd end up on the third floor of a building. There's a lot of stairs. This time we decided to just take the stipend money and get our own housing. When we first got out here in November, we were in Union City, which is about 40 or 50 minutes south of Concord, where she works. And then just because of the distance, we started looking for another place to move. She's extended the contract at the hospital all the way until the end of May, which you can do. Typically they're 3 months, but we're staying longer because she likes the hospital and we like the area. The house that we found that was closer to her work, is about 5 or 6 minutes from her hospital, was in a little nice little town, really nice area called Pleasant Hill. We were renting a house. It was a short-term rental from a company called Zeus Living that does a lot of short-term rentals for apartments and things out here, but this was a rare situation where they had a 3-bedroom house with a yard. It's one of those houses, like, for all appearances, it looked great. And but once we had moved in, we started finding there was broken glass from windows in the backyard that had been replaced. Dishwasher was broken. There were things, it was kind of like they'd been renting it to people who were partying in it, and were just kind of trashing things. But then the trash can got stolen, so we had nowhere to put trash for a couple of weeks. Then the sewage started backing up into the bathtubs, which was really a problem with Christy working on COVID units. Eventually, the foundation shifted, or had already shifted, and we didn't realize it, but cracks started appearing in the walls, and then the roof started leaking from pipes that were, I guess, in the attic or whatever. So that was kind of the last straw, that we can't stay here. So they reimbursed us some money, and we desperately tried to find something that would work a little bit better, and it's very crowded out here. So as some of you know, some of you I know that watch these have lived out here. So finding a 3-bedroom that's pet friendly with a little bit of a yard for the dog is just extremely difficult. And we ended up having to come all the way out to Napa, which is about 50 minutes to the north of where she works. So she's having these long commutes, and they're really not any worse than what she had really in Hershey. They're a bit longer than that, and the traffic's not real bad for her because of the time of the day that she works. Okay, so here we are. This is First Street in Napa, and that's not to be confused with Napa Valley. Napa Valley is a little bit to the north and west of here. But this is the house that we're living in, and you can see the houses are a bit older, and we know that this one that we're in was built in, I think it's 1870, and I may have that confused with the other property that this person owns. It's an Airbnb, and in one of the early videos, or a couple of the earlier videos, we were at a, if you remember, we were at a house out in Gwensville, I can't remember how it's pronounced, and we were staying there overnight because there was some work being done on this one. So when we got here the day that we were supposed to move in, we showed up, and there were literally 7 or 8 people walking around in and out of the doors, most of them not wearing masks, which was a real scary thing. And we realized that we were walking into the middle of a kitchen renovation, but also that they had just redone pretty much everything in the house, including the floors. Like this, as we were looking at pictures from right before we moved in, this deck had been carpeted, and so had most of the house. So apparently, beautiful front door, and I think it's original. But she had pulled all the carpet out, had the floors redone, put all new furniture in, and was in the middle of renovating the kitchen. So when we came in to this, and as we walked through here, we realized that this was very different from the pictures we saw on Airbnb. There was a wall from here all the way to here, and just a little doorway that went into a kitchen that was about half that size with very old fixtures. So she has knocked this wall out, knocked out a wall going this direction, and brought in all new appliances. The island is new, the cabinets are new, the lighting is new, and they were not finished. They were right in the middle. I mean, there was not even plumbing hooked up under the sink, and we were here with a U-Haul and the dog. I say U-Haul, it was a U-Haul van, and we're thinking, how in the world are we going to do this? So we ended up in limbo for about 7 or 8 hours that day until we could move in, and we're in here. It didn't get really moved in until about midnight that night. We've rearranged things, obviously. This was a little den with the couch sitting in here, and turned it into my little nest here that I do all my music and live streaming and all that from. She's put some older furniture in, which is kind of cool. So it's really gorgeous. But the reason we had a U-Haul van is mainly, hey, I'm doing a video. He can't hear me because he's got headphones in. I'm doing a video. Yeah, I know. I'm doing a little video. Rich is, he came out here with the intention to stay and go to school. So
I have a lot more stuff.
You have a lot more stuff, yeah. So this is one of the reasons that we got a little U-Haul situation. Rented one of those just to be able to move his desks, because he found exactly the desks he wanted, and wants to be able to take those with him wherever he goes. So this is kind of his little workshop here. And what we did is the dining room table was in here. We moved it in there, moved the couch that was in there out, and we shut these doors here. So we're kind of neighbors, but we don't speak much between the doors. We're not on speaking terms, right? The couch that was in the front room ended up out here because this area originally in the pictures had a nice couch and a couple of chairs, and when we got here it was just the couch. So we pulled the other couch out here. This TV stand was not here. Some of this stuff just got here this week, the end tables, and we've been here for about 2 weeks, so some of this came in the middle of our stay. You can see that just the way these old houses are, it's great. Like these, this is Rich's bedroom, but these 3 rooms are all connected here. So if I come in the front door there, you've got the front room. That's the room I was just in where Rich is, and these doors also open, or that door slides open, envelope door will slide open, and into the room where I was just talking to him. You see, like going through there's the den. So they're all connected, and then you've got this little bathroom here with the clawfoot tub. I don't even know what's in here, drying some clothes. But we're still moving in, and we're finding old wardrobe, because there's no closets in these older houses. actually still cleaning sawdust off the tops of things as we go. I don't know how far we've gotten, not to here, because of when the floor was sanded, dust everywhere, you know. So it's been updated and everything's great. It's really nice, but we just have not, we weren't able to just move directly in. We actually moved in and then we packed up some bags and went up to the place that was in the last video, the other old house back from the, it was out in the middle of nowhere that I did some video of. So this is a little residence back here, and the owner's mother is going to be moving in here in a couple of weeks. We're not sure what that's going to involve, just because we're using the washer and dryer that's in the garage right now, and we don't know if we're going to be sharing that or what. And I think this furniture just came and was put together the other day. So there's a lot of nice little spots here, and there wasn't really a place for Stitch to go, so this fence was put up, this gate was put up, and this leads to a little backyard. I think Brennan's actually back here with her right now. Yep, there she is. Hey, are you playing? I don't want that nasty ball. Hey. I'm just making one to put on Facebook because I meant to keep meaning to put up pictures of the house and I haven't. Tell us why you wear the gloves.
First of all, it's actually not too terrible
It is
right now,
manky.
but it gets very slobbery and dirty and stuff. So if I don't wear gloves, then my hands get really muddy and slobbery and gross. And she doesn't care, but I do.
No, she's nasty.
Oh, crap.
She is nasty. Oh man. So yeah, we don't know when the owner's mother moves into this residence. I don't know if we're still going to be able to use this backyard for the dog. So that's a whole other thing. We're just kind of like, ah. But you know, so this is a door going back in. That's the hallway down there, where I was standing. The front door's there. Kind of get the idea. It's just everything's really big and open, which is nice. But and I'll take you upstairs and show you up there. Big, nice, long driveway here. So let me take you upstairs. Oh, loving this stove, by the way. I'm having the time of my life cooking on this gas stove. It's really cool. Yeah, up the stairs here. Love these little windows. There's a lot of open space. And I guess you know, the thing is, when you're doing this the way we're doing it, you just kind of have to roll with it, you know. You never know how things are going to go. And it just seems like at every place it's a new challenge. This has kind of become our little storage room for all the boxes and bins and stuff. You can still see we're in the process of getting settled, but she's bought some nice old furniture, lots of closets everywhere. Up here, Brennan's staying in this room, so it's like 3 bedrooms downstairs and 3 bedrooms upstairs and 2 living rooms, and just but oddball stuff. Like this is where a furnace used to be, so they just left that. I have no idea if there should be a cap on it or what. That futon just got built and moved in here about 2 or 3 days ago. And we tend to put, everybody has sheer curtains, and we tend to be night owls. We stay up late, get up late, and the sun coming through the windows is awful. So we always end up hanging something to kind of at least mitigate that a little bit. And then you got the other bathroom here, but you can see, we don't know what of this was here before, what was not, but it seems like they did a lot of stuff right before we moved in. In fact, that toilet's not even seated to the floor. It's connected and we can use it, but there's nothing. I could take my hand and rock it back and forth, and the same thing for the sink. It's connected but not attached, like connected to plumbing but not attached to the floor or the wall very well. Like if I were to reach up and really put some force on it, I could just pull it away. So obviously, I think once we move out, she'll probably have people come back in and finish a lot of the work. And you know, Christy and I used to work on hardwood floors back in our 20s, And we estimated it would probably take, with this much hardwood, 2 or 3 people, it'd probably take you a couple of weeks. And I think she only left a couple of days for it, is my suspicion. And everything got behind. And the furniture was late and the appliances were late getting here because of the ship that was blocking the Suez Canal. So that put that behind, and it was just a kind of a comedy of errors. But we're here and we're moved in. We really like it. The area is nice. I've got a buddy that I've known for about 20 years. He lives about 10 blocks from here that I'm hoping to see sometime this week. We worked on a game project called Thief 2X years and years and years ago. Some of you watching have played, I know, and some of you maybe even worked on with us. But we become friends over the years, and hopefully going to get to see him some, and another friend from that same community. It's about 30 minutes west of here, so it'll be nice to hang out with those guys. So that's it. That's the house in Napa. I'll post again when there's something worth posting.